Welcome, warriors.
Welcome to the spiritual special Sweat Warfare podcast, episode 4.
Sweatwarfare@gmail.com. Welcome to Sweat Warfare with Lilia and
Justin.
we are looking forward to discussing something that is a major world
No.
problem. Challenge.
Challenge, yes. Speaking of challenges, I find it in all my years of training and studies. I mean, I'm a student of life. I'm always a student. I'm always learning. I love to learn, love knowledge. But
we all have to be. If you are not studying, you're dying.
Right, exactly. So, we find and adhere to the quest to find the best teachers, right? The best of the best. And I always...
Survival of the fittest.
Right, so I always try to learn from people that are better than me, people that know more than me, surround myself with people that are smarter than me.
You should always be the dumbest one in the room.
Well, maybe not in your room, but in the rooms of life, I try to... I don't know if I agree with that statement, actually. I'm not sure, but...
So maybe I should rephrase that. You should always be surrounded by people that are more knowledgeable than yourself. That's the true growth point.
Right. And that being said, from people that are better than I and smarter than I often listen and apply to a lot of what I've learned, and I try to make it my own. But when things that are happening around you that are just effed up beyond all recognition, and you know what to do, you have the tools, you have the knowledge, you have the information, you listen to your favorite strategist, Tony Robbins, or whoever it is that you listen to, and you try to draw insight from
gurus, educators, top dogs in the field.
People have been doing it.
Government.
They juice you up.
Lawmakers.
And what happens is something happens.
They fail.
Well, not Tony Robbins so much, but justice. The system fails sometimes.
The system is corrupt.
And let me just play the scenario out for you and just lay it out for you the way it is. So you have a situation you're facing, and it's a very, very detrimental, hurtful. It feels wrong. It feels like this is not right. And yeah, people make mistakes in life. People live and learn, and they get better. They strive. But there's some things that you just can't look past.
Especially when other people help the wrong people cover up their tracks.
Right.
These people in the system are lying for one another. These people in the system are covering up their tracks, what they do behind closed doors. And sometimes, until there is a disruptor, someone who goes against the odds, who is the underdog against everything, that these people actually start to remember who they are on this planet. Because you just do a little bit of wrongdoing to the left, and then you do a little bit of wrongdoing to the right, and then you wake up in all of the wrongdoing. And when that moment comes for you and you wake up and you realize, I am not who I say that I am, and I am not who I want to be, what do you just do then? Do you decide to grow and accept what you have done and be honest with yourself? Or do you take people down with you and use
them, and you just numb yourself, or you escape your reality with whatever substances or whatever it is that you're doing to not deal with the fact that you are a POS. And unfortunately, there's some known behaviors that we need to be adhered to based on the social constructs and the social norms of
what your teachers have taught you in school that is correct, what the system has taught you that is socially acceptable. And you have to break these barriers because either you're going to go against your values or you just conform and die a little bit every day.
So are you about your values or your valuables? Because when your values become more about your valuables than they are about really what's right. A right action needs no defense. But here's the thing. Sometimes, for me anyway, I'll speak for myself, you do the best, you follow the rules, you obey the law, you do everything you're supposed to do.
The rules and the laws that they wrote.
And then things, no matter what good you're doing, the right things, everything you're doing is the right move, and you're a good person, and you don't deserve what's happening to you to be happening, and yet door shut after door shut, slam in your face, and it becomes almost impossible to continue following these social norms because it feels like
Social constructs.
the constructs and the norms that we conform to. Here's the thing. There's good people out there in law enforcement, in the judicial system.
Very
in politics.
few, but they're out there.
They're out there.
And what happened,
God
maybe
bless those people.
all of them
and
started
we
off
appreciate
that
you,
way.
And thank you for your service and thank you for your contribution. But there are a few out there that are not.
That stand up for what's right.
And those people are the problem. And those people, for me, they elicit this primal part of me. It's just, and it's almost so hard for me to hold in because sometimes, and I say this, not just to say that I condone anything that's gonna be, doing something that's gonna be, hurting someone else, not even being. I don't, want to say that that's a good thing, but in old school times, when people had a beef with you, they were able to talk to you man to man or woman to woman. And sometimes there would be a brawl, and sometimes people just need to get punched in the face. Sometimes people just need to punch in the face or slapped in the face and to know that's not right. That's not what you do. Because you can't hide behind your money in the court system and this and your lawyers. You can't hide behind that stuff all you want. But in the real times, back in the day when there was no courts and there was just man versus wild and man versus man and woman versus woman or man versus woman. And those times were sweet. Those times are sweet, I feel, in a time like this, a time when things like this are happening. Those things would not be happening because that would not happen.
Well,
they would just get punched in the face.
Those days,
eaten by a
more
T-Rex.
people had kahunas because they weren't drugged up or chemically bombarded every single day in their water supply, in their food supply, in their school supply, in their gender supply,
in their not gender, excuse me, in their Skinnerian school, you have your standardized testing and you have
technology,
your this, and you have to do things this way, and this is the type of learning that we want to do, and that's all BS because when it comes down to, people don't learn that way. That's just standardized. It's just to get people to make money. That's how people make money off of you.
Put you in the box.
But your SAT score is not high enough. You get your ACT and ACT score have to be this way.
Stay in your box, stay in your lane, and listen to what I say. And if you don't, you will be punished.
This is not the way to teach people to be individuals. This is the way to teach people to be conformers, to be animals, to be pets, to be puppets. And I'm not going to be a puppet. To have somebody stick their hand up my life and tell me, not happening.
Well, here's what I want to say to our viewers. It is very easy to say what is happening and what is not happening and what you stand for and what you don't stand for. But speaking from my personal experience, there comes that moment in your life where you are just pushed to the edge, pushed to the limits, and you maybe do what you always thought you were going to do, which will get you further into their trap. Or you have to conform and play by the rules in some kind of eloquent dance until you're able to actually get the right moment to prove your innocence. And this is not an easy task. And most people fall off. Most people don't have the energy. Most people don't even want to stand up for themselves, let alone join a movement to help others. And some people join a movement without them even knowing what they're really doing, just to say I'm cool, look at me, what I'm doing.
Well, I must say, Lilia, you do dance with great elegance and poise. And I do mean that sincerely. You are an amazing dancer. And this is why you're such an amazing dancer, because you've had to dance
With the wolves.
With the wolves. And let's just spell it out for them. Shall we spell it out for the listeners? Should we just tell them what happened? Should we tell them? Are they ready for this yet?
They're not ready.
I don't know. You don't think they're ready?
They're not ready. We need to hear from them. We need them to come pouring in with their emails
Because
at
we only have
sweatwarfare
68
at
views.
gmail.com.
And this is sad. On our first podcast and second podcast, I think we have 28. And this is the thing. If you guys want to know what really is going on, please tune in and listen.
Get involved.
Get involved, because we will blow your minds.
Reach out to us.
I am talking blow your minds. And we'll
Our
also have
children are involved.
Yeah, our children are involved. And it's very, very corrupt and very sick what these people are doing with our kids. And
that are crying
because they
for
can't
us.
control us, because they want to control us and us to do what they want to do.
But what we do is rise above and be the example that we wish to see. Live through the example.
Be the change you wish to see. Be the change. Well,
I think that I am the change, and I've always been the game changer. So are you staying in the game? Are you changing the game? Or do you play only one certain game?
do you have change for 100?
No, I don't.
Good, because I'm all 100%.
This
I'm
world is
100.
all plastic. You actually have cash?
I keep it 100. I don't need change.
Oh, don't change.
I am the change.
Don't ever change.
Never change.
We don't let people change us. We change the game.
We change the game. Because where
We
we're
create
at,
the game.
we're adaptable, we're pliable, we go with the flow. There's no need
And we do what's
to
right.
change when you do things
that are right.
that are right. A right action is no defense. You don't gotta change that. Only change is conformity, and we're not conforming to nothing.
People need to look inside, and at the end of the day, how can anybody bring pain to an innocent child? That is not right, no matter what.
And how could you
There's
deny
no answer to that question.
your children, they're loving parents that love them and that are great parents and would do anything for them. Why would you deny a child that?
What kind of a sick human, for me it's not even a real human, would take away a child from their entire world, the parent that they've always knew, the only love that they really know of a parent, of a mother and a father? Have you heard?
A single father?
Have you ever heard of this before? Please let us know. We want to hear your story. And we have stories to tell you, and some of them will prevail, and some of them are stories of excruciating pain and suffering that we have endured.
And agony and anguish.
And that our children have endured. For what? For who? Write us if you want to know.
Please write us. Keep listening, because there's so much more to come in these next coming podcasts. And your views and comments are going to dictate just
what kind of change we're going to see in this world. Where has society really decided to go?
because we need your support. And
What
not
do
just
you
us,
stand for?
But the children need your support. The children of our world, our future. Because this world is rapidly changing. It's going into a digital age where
We have to save the
these
kids.
corrupt people that have been hiding
Want to disrupt families,
amongst the
disturb
world
kids.
in blending in with their money and their businesses and their 70 cell phone numbers that they have and their international connections, that people just don't even notice them, and they're in plain sight. And these people are pulling strings and involving children
in your communities.
in your community. And believe me, it's happening everywhere, but happening very, 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 very more predominantly in certain areas. And that's where our children are. And our children need us. They need their mommy and daddy. They need their mom and dad. They need a mother and father.
And there are a lot of children out there that also need your support, your voice, because your voice matters.
Your voice is our voice, and we need your support. We need you to be involved, because to carry the message and to get this to be uncovered and for real justice to prevail, we need your support. People, we are grateful, beyond grateful.
Expose the darkness and allow justice to be served. Sweatwarfare@gmail.com. We are always here for you. We have lived our lives in service. We service our community in health, fitness, nutrition, family, community building, and most importantly, physical, emotional, spiritual connection between humans. Listening to what the other person across from you has to say. Creating an experience.
Listening, or are you waiting for your turn to talk? Food for thought.
Until next time.
Sweat Warriors. This is Justin and Lilia signing off.